What's up, people? Hey, tonight I want to go over the New Testament and show you how it's written in astrology. Um, in the old scriptures, all my studies, my Hindu scriptures, my Buddhist scriptures, these old books are written there. God works through the heavens. As it is above, so it is below. So the things that happen in heaven will happen on the earth. So they can foretell things that were going to happen based on the star movements and the sun movements and moon movements. They could tell things that were going to happen on the earth. So the Bible, the New Testament, is written in this way, in this fashion. So on December the 25th, we celebrate the birth of Christ. And on that day, there are three stars in Orion's belt, which is in the Big Dipper, that point out of it to the brightest star in the sky, which is Sirius. And on the 25th, when the sun comes up, those three stars point to one star, which is pointing to the rising of the sun. The sun comes up right on that line. Okay. And this is where the three wise men were following the star that led to the sun, S-U-N, of God. Okay. And this is why you worship on Sunday. They've created this whole story out of the stars in the heaven. So one day in scriptures is like a year. Okay, so 30 days after the 25th, you go into Aquarius. You leave Capricorn, you come into Aquarius, and that is 30 days late, 30 years later, which Jesus in his 30th year starts his ministry. He goes into John the Baptist and he gets baptized, which is the symbol of Aquarius, is the water bearer. So he's getting baptized in Aquarius. When he comes out of that baptism, he finds his first two disciples, which are Peter and John, his brother. And we're going into Pisces, which he says, come, I will make you fishers of men. Because we know that Pisces is represented by the fish. Okay, so he went to two fishermen in Pisces. Okay, so he comes out, he starts his ministry, he goes into Aries, and he becomes the Lamb. Aries is the Lamb of God. He becomes the Lamb of God. He goes around preaching and teaching, raising people from the dead, healing the sick, and whatnot. And so he starts his ministry. He starts sowing his seed. He comes into Taurus, which is the bull. And the bull is symbolized for plowing the field. So the Lord came out and sowed seed, plowed the fields. So he's trekking through the fields and in the age of Taurus. So after he leaves out of Taurus, he comes into Gemini, which is represented by the twins, which his power increases twice. So his ministry is getting very strong at this time of the year, and he's got an increase in his ministry. Okay, but you have backsliders. These backsliders are when you're coming into Cancer, because crabs walk backwards. Okay, people backslide from the word and whatnot. Okay, so after he leaves out of Cancer, the strongest part of the year, he's now called, after the people have heard him, they have started following him, he started his teachings. You got some backsliders, all this is happening, and then all of a sudden we go into Leo and he becomes the Lion of Judah. He becomes the King of Kings, because a lion is the king of the jungle. So he's at the strongest part of his ministry. Leo is in the hottest part of the year in August, and he's in his the longest parts of the day. But then after that, after he's testified and done his things, and they start to look for him to try to kill him, because he's upset a lot of people in his path, right? So after Leo, you go right into Libra, which is the scales. And everything is weighed on the balance. Life is weighed in the balance when you come into Libra. And it's to say, when a farmer at the end of his season, when he's counting up how much money he's made, he's weighing the scales. He's balancing his books. It's the same thing. The same thing that's written in the heavens, mankind does on the earth. But Jesus is being weighed in the balance. Okay, and now after he crosses into Libra, guess what? The days become shorter. His days are numbered. He becomes shorter. Okay, and now he's walking, he's carrying his cross, and his mother is with him, Virgin, the Virgin Mary. She's with him as he's walking, carrying his cross to be crucified. And when he gets to the next two symbols, which is Scorpio and Sagittarius, these are the two thieves on each side of him. You know that in the darkness of the night, when the night is at its longest time, you got the two thieves, one on each side of Scorpio and Sagittarius. And he goes in to be crucified. And on December the 21st, which is the Southern Cross, It's the winter solstice, and in that solstice, they say the sun crosses, and it crosses the day and the night are of equal length on that day, and so the sun is said to have died on the December the 21st, and he's dead for 3 days. So Jesus is crucified, he's dead, he died for 3 days, he descended into Hades, Greek Hades, hell, Christian. Okay, so he descended into hell for those 3 days, and then the tomb was closed over and it stayed for 3 days. On the 25th, guess what? It rises again, and we go right back to the same story. So the whole story of the Bible is played out every year by the sun in the sky. This is why you worship on Sunday. The Romans have you worshiping on Sunday. This is why, if you look at the Catholic Church in the Vatican, it's sitting on a sundial. The Washington Monument is a sundial. It's an obelisk. It also comes from Egypt in the days of Ra. Okay, and we'll get into Egyptology too. But I just want you to understand that the Bible is a written story in the heavens that happens according to the Zodiac every year as Jesus walks through. All right, thanks.